Once upon a time, in a cozy little house with a bright red door, lived a little boy named Oliver.
Oliver was a curious and cheerful boy with rosy cheeks and a big smile.
He had lots of toys and books, but his most favorite thing in the whole wide world was his umbrella. It wasn't just any umbrella. It was a magic umbrella. It was painted with all the colors of the rainbow. And at the very top, instead of a simple handle, there was a shiny golden star. Oliver's grandpa had given it to him, and he had whispered, "This umbrella, my dear Oliver, holds a special secret. When you open it, get ready for an adventure." Oliver didn't quite understand at first, but he loved his rainbow umbrella and took it everywhere. One sunny afternoon, Oliver was playing in his backyard. There wasn't a single cloud in the big blue sky. What a perfect day to test Grandpa's secret, Oliver thought.
He held the umbrella tight, took a deep breath, and with a little push, he popped it open. Whoosh! Suddenly, the world around him began to swirl.
The green grass, the white fence, and his red-doored house all blurred into a whirlwind of colors. It felt like being on the fastest merry-go-round ever. When everything stopped spinning, Oliver blinked his eyes. He was no longer in his backyard.
He was standing in a forest, but it was a very special forest.
The trees weren't made of wood. They were made of swirly lollipops.
The leaves were fluffy pink cotton candy, and the ground was covered in soft, squishy marshmallows.
A river of chocolate milk bubbled nearby, with gummy bears floating on top like little boats. It was a candy forest! Wow! Oliver exclaimed.
He took a tiny lick of a lollipop tree.
It tasted like sweet strawberries.
He plucked a piece of cotton candy leaf, and it melted in his mouth.
He met friendly gingerbread men who danced and sang songs. They offered him cookies shaped like stars and moons.
Oliver had a wonderful time, playing hide-and-seek behind giant candy canes and splashing his feet in the chocolate river.
After a while, he started to think of his cozy room and his warm bed. He remembered what Grandpa said. So, he closed the magical umbrella with a soft click.
Swirl! Whoosh! Spin!
In a blink, he was right back in his own backyard, just as the sun was beginning to set. The lollipop taste was still on his tongue.
The next day was a bit gray and drizzly. A perfect day for an umbrella, Oliver said to himself. He decided to go on another adventure. He stood in the middle of his living room, took a firm grip on the golden star, and opened the umbrella. Whoosh!
The spinning began again. This time, when the colors settled, Oliver heard a soft, gurgling sound.
He looked around and saw that he was in a place unlike any other. He was in a city, under the sea. He was inside a giant, clear bubble, so he could breathe just fine.
Outside the bubble, colorful fish with sparkly scales swam past. Gentle sea turtles nodded at him, and friendly dolphins did flips in the water. The buildings weren't made of bricks.
They were made of shimmering seashells and pearly stones.
Seaweed gardens swayed in the gentle currents, and playful seahorses peeked out from behind coral towers.
A beautiful mermaid with a long, flowing tail and hair like spun moonlight swam up to his bubble.
"Welcome, little land dweller," she sang in a voice like tinkling bells.
I am Marina. Would you like a tour of our city, Aquaria? Oliver nodded eagerly.
Marina guided his bubble through the glowing streets.
She showed him a playground where baby octopuses played tag using all 8 of their arms.
She showed him the grand palace made entirely of a single giant pearl.
Oliver was amazed. He learned that the sea creatures all lived together, helping each other and keeping their ocean home clean and beautiful. As the day under the sea came to a close, Oliver felt a little sleepy. He waved goodbye to Marina and all his new underwater friends.
He closed the rainbow umbrella, and with a final, gentle swirl, he was back in his living room, safe and sound.
The sound of the real rain pattered against his window. Weeks went by, and Oliver had many more adventures.
He opened his umbrella and found himself in a land where clouds were made of bouncy trampolines, and he could jump almost to the moon. He visited a valley where dinosaurs still roamed, but they were all very friendly and loved to be tickled under their chins.
He even traveled to a city in the sky, built on fluffy white clouds and connected by rainbow bridges. Each place was exciting and new, but after every adventure, Oliver was always happy to close his umbrella and return home. He realized something very important.
As much as he loved the candy forests and underwater cities, there was no place quite like his own home, with his own warm bed, his own toys, and the love of his family. One evening, as his mom was tucking him into bed, Oliver told her all about his latest trip to a jungle where monkeys served banana ice cream.
His mom smiled and kissed his forehead.
It sounds like you have the most wonderful adventures, my love. But remember, the best adventures are the ones you carry in your heart, and the best place to come back to is always home. Oliver hugged his teddy bear tight. He knew his mom was right. The magic umbrella was amazing, and the worlds it showed him were incredible. But the real magic was having a safe, loving home to return to. The adventures were fun, but love was the greatest adventure of all.
And with that happy thought, Oliver closed his eyes, dreaming of lollipops,
mermaids, and bouncy clouds, knowing that his best adventure was waking up in his very own bed tomorrow. Good night.